All right. I believe this is. Yep, I believe this is working. Okay. Mark will be joining us. He's having some connection difficulties, so he's going to be joining us eventually. But right now, it's just me. Obviously, there's 10 minutes until the formation lap starts. This is the 2019 Japanese Grand Prix, in case you couldn't read the title. Just gonna. So obviously, we have to wait until the stream has begun before we start advertising it. So, I'm just going to quickly do some posts. So I go into this group, send the link. That one. I know you guys probably obviously don't care what I'm really talking about, but obviously this is something that really kind of has to be done. And I'll try and find out when Mark is on. Hopefully we can get that sorted soon, but obviously who doesn't love Australian internet? In case you didn't see our earlier stream, it's basically Sebastian Vettel is on pole in Suzuka, Charles Leclerc alongside him, followed by Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, obviously then the two Red Bulls are behind them, did the exact same time. And then the two McLarens, then Pierre Gasly and Romain Grosjean. Yeah, so basically right now we're just everyone's sitting on the grid. We've got 8 minutes until the formation lap starts. Once again, I'm waiting until Mark gets here, which he might actually be here later in the Grand Prix. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to basically keep going until he turns up, if he turns up. You never know. But right now, obviously, it's just me. So it's going to be a bit boring, I know. But yeah. Obviously, he made some predictions earlier, and I did not because I think this race will be a bit interesting. Yeah. Yes. So, Facebook groups. What the hell? That one's broken. Okay, so I guess I'll go into a different Facebook group now. Ooh, what do I do there? Nothing. Amazing. So we've got some advertisements right now. We're just waiting. My time is currently 4:04 p.m. Alright, the F1 intro. Dun 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 dun. You know how it is. Romain Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc, Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton. Alrighty, it's quite windy, looks like it. Also, there's some facts popping up on screen. Almost 75% of Japanese land is either forest or mountain. It's an interesting one. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3. 2018 top speed was 356 km an hour. There's 18 turns. Late race lap record was 2005. Obviously, we've seen some pretty interesting things here. Prost and Senna in 1990. Vettel and Verstappen going at it, causing some bodywork to fly through the air. A lot of sparks came out of Max Verstappen's car, and not to mention that Sebastian Vettel spun. Hopefully, he doesn't do that today. That'd be very, very, very bad. Just having a look at our. So the 3 tyre compounds, the soft, medium, and hard. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure which one that is. It's on the grid. Max Verstappen 5th, Alex Albon 6th. Carlos Sainz P7, Lando Norris was 8th fastest. Pierre Gasly was 9th, Romain Grosjean was 10th. Antonio Giovinazzi was P11, Lance Stroll was P12. Kimi Raikkonen was P13, Danny Kvyat was 14. Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, 15th and 16th. Sergio Perez was P17, George Russell was P18. Kevin Magnussen was P19, and Robert Kubica will start from pit lane due to his crash in Q1. So, looks like we're getting close to... Yeah, looks like we're getting closer. Max Verstappen looking very intently, starting 5th, had some mechanical problems all throughout qualifying. Valtteri Bottas, P3, out-qualified Lewis Hamilton. Once again, he's also looking very intently. Lewis Hamilton himself has an umbrella over his head right now as he looks over the track. Ferrari front row lockout, 3rd time this season after Bahrain and Belgium. All the engineers have cleared to the side of the track. Clock has ticked over and the formation lap has begun. Around the first corner go the two Ferraris, two Mercedes, two Red Bulls, and two McLarens. Predicted stop strategy will be pitting roughly laps 17 to 20. It'll be most likely a one stop, either going from soft to medium or soft to hard. Valtteri Bottas is pretty hungry, considering that this weekend, right now, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Sebastian Vettel can fall out of championship contention. And unless Charles Leclerc scores 4 points more than Lewis Hamilton does this weekend, all three of them will fall out of championship contention, leaving only Valtteri Bottas. And even then, Lewis Hamilton can effectively seal the championship in Mexico next week. However, in the past few years, some interesting stuff has happened, and obviously everyone's always thought that he would do it 4 rounds in the end, but last year and the year before, some interesting circumstances have arisen, and he's ended up lasting until the third last race of the season. Obviously in 2017-18 it ended in Mexico. Although 2017 was still one less race of the season than 2018. Binotto looking a bit stressed on pit wall right now as the formation lap slowly approaches its closing stages. Toto Wolff also looking a bit on edge. So Robert Kubica had to undergo a complete chassis change in 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, which was pretty impressive. Obviously, he still has to start from pit lane, and Kevin Magnussen is pretty lucky that his incident wasn't worse. So he's obviously quite lucky to actually be starting, but the cars that are currently lining up on the grid now, and medical cars pulling up behind them. What's the big Heineken sign? When you drive, never drink. I feel like that is a good message to be sending Formula One drivers. The green flag has been waved and the lights are lighting up and they go out. That was a bit of a sluggish start from everyone. Valtteri Bottas pulls out, and what a start from him. Valtteri Bottas leads Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen into the first corner. And he spun. Verstappen spun. I believe that is Max Verstappen. Yes, Max Verstappen has spun out on the first corner. We have Valtteri Bottas, the two Ferraris, then Lewis Hamilton. Two McLarens. Alex Albon has fallen back behind the two McLarens. Going to get some timing up in a second to see exactly what's going on there. Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel have built up a bit of a gap to Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, and the two racing points have climbed up. Lance Stroll is up into P9, Nico Hülkenberg's up into P10, Sergio Perez is into P11, and Kevin Magnussen is into P13. So we've got both racing points, one of the Renaults. So that was Charles Leclerc, I believe, that took out Max Verstappen on the first turn. So Danny Kvyat's fallen down 3 places. Max Verstappen's fallen way back down, but he's obviously still going on track. Oh, Charles Leclerc's got damage. Charles Leclerc has got damage. Bits. Oh, there's lots of sparks coming out of his car from his collision with Verstappen earlier on. And Lewis Hamilton is gaining on him as Charles Leclerc is having to take it very easy with a lot of sparks flying out of his car. There is a big piece of bodywork stuck to his front wing that is scraping across the ground and looks like it's impacting his tyre as well. That was not a great start from the Monegasque and not a great start from the Dutchman either. On Charles Leclerc's left side mirror is also damaged as it looks. The mirror is currently wobbling around and hanging off, but it looks relatively okay. There's a massive piece of barge board stuck to the side of his wing that's rubbing against his tyre and the ground. It doesn't seem to be sparking as much anymore. Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris are up into P5 and P6 at the moment. Alex Albon's fallen down quite a bit. There you go. There you go. The piece of bodywork has just flown off Charles Leclerc's car. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with him, whether he'll have to box or not. I don't know if there's any damage to the tyre or the floor, but it looks like he's taken quite a beating there. Valtteri Bottas is still leading. He's well over a second ahead of Sebastian Vettel now, who leads from Leclerc and Hamilton. Alex Albon, P7, Pierre Gasly, P8, Lance Stroll, P9, Nico Hülkenberg, P10, Sergio Perez, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, P13, Romain Grosjean, 14, Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, Danny Kvyat, Max Verstappen, George Russell, and Robert Kubica. The current standings, with Valtteri Bottas still leading from Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. And it looks like bits of debris are flying off Charles Leclerc's car. And the stewards are investigating the incident between Leclerc and Verstappen, and apparently no investigation is necessary, so scratch that. It looks like pieces of debris or they're not necessarily right now, but they were coming off Charles Leclerc's car, and one nearly hit Lewis Hamilton a moment ago. So that was a pretty spectacular start from Leclerc and Verstappen. There you go. Yes, the replay is showing at the moment. Pieces of Leclerc's car have just exploded off his car and showered Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes with bits of carbon fiber. And Lewis Hamilton is on and off the radio, most likely telling his team that the condition of his car after being peppered with little pieces of debris. Charles Leclerc is in the pits. He's falling down the order. He's getting a new front wing. Charles Leclerc is getting a new front wing. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. What's going on there? Yellow flag, Sector 2. Yellow flag, Sector 2. What has happened in Sector 2 that necessitates a yellow flag? Oh, the flag is now green. Wonder what's happened there. Obviously nothing too bad as it's all green now, but someone's either come loose or spun. So we've got Valtteri Bottas, Sebastian Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton leading at the moment. Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris are P4 and 5. Alex Albon P6. Pierre Gasly 7th. Stroll and Perez are 8th and 10th. Nico Hülkenberg P9. Max Verstappen is looking around the Toro Rosso of Danny Kvyat, trying to see if there's a gap for him to squeeze around, but at the moment doesn't look like it. So re-watching the start, both Ferraris had quite a bad start. Max Verstappen managed to make it around the outside of Charles Leclerc and turned in where there wasn't really enough room for Verstappen to take the inside line out of turn 3, or turn 2 and 3 really. Went around turn 2, he closed into turn 2, into the inside, but hit the side of Leclerc, obviously not realising it was alongside him. So I would classify that as a racing incident, personally. Yeah, there we go. Leclerc was moving out on the racing line and Verstappen was going in, so the two of them, neither of them could really do anything different there that would stop that from happening. I think realistically that could have been worse. I mean, Verstappen slid sideways onto the grass with bits of carbon flying off, but he didn't actually spin out. So Carlos Sainz is now in P4, being able to breeze past, or almost making it past Lewis Hamilton at that point as well, except Leclerc's re-entry kind of blocked him off and allowed Lewis Hamilton to get back past him. Max Verstappen is not happy that the stewards are not investigating Leclerc, as he said on the radio. What? Where should I go? He's just driven into my car. So, yeah. Bit of a interesting start there. But, yeah, we've still got Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel leading, I believe. Oh, that's what's... Okay, so Alex Albon has tried to overtake Lando Norris and has forced him off the track and sent bits of debris flying everywhere. So, yeah, so Alex Albon has tried to overtake Lando Norris going into the final chicane, but it's actually rammed into the side of him and forced him off the track. And Lando Norris has then cut the chicane, obviously, because he had nowhere else to go. And that has let Albon past him, and that's the reason for the yellow flags. So Lando Norris, I'm not 100% sure if he's damaged or not, because bits of carbon were everywhere. Charles Leclerc has just set a new fastest lap. Lando Norris is now P20. Started 8th and is now 20th after that collision with Alex Albon, who is up in P5. Carlos Sainz is comfortably in P4. Pierre Gasly is in P6. Lance Stroll in P7. Hulkenberg, Perez, and Giovinazzi round off the points positions. Daniel Ricciardo is up into P11, followed by Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean. And behind them is Kimi Raikkonen, Danny Kvyat, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Rob Kubica, and Lando Norris. So Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc have both pitted after their respective collisions. Valtteri Bottas has built up quite a comfortable lead now. So Lewis Hamilton has a big gap behind him back to Carlos Sainz, with Alex Albon rapidly closing, whilst Pierre Gasly has Lance Stroll also rapidly approaching. Nico Hulkenberg is fending off Sergio Perez, and Antonio Giovinazzi is unable to defend against Daniel Ricciardo, who makes it around the outside and enters the points position. Both Renaults and both Racing Points are now in the top 10, as is Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris has just made it past Robert Kubica as well, while Charles Leclerc is gaining on George Russell. I think I said during qualifying that this is going to be a good one, and if the start's an indication of things to come, this is going to be one hell of a Grand Prix. So we've currently got Max Verstappen gaining on Danny Kvyat. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc are now under investigation. They are now under investigation after it was deemed unnecessary to investigate a racing incident. The collision is now under investigation. Kvyat, Verstappen, and Leclerc are fighting for 15th, whilst Kvyat tried to make a move on Kimi Raikkonen, had a look, but it wasn't quite close enough. going into the final chicane as they cross the finish line. Kvyat's closing with DRS. Is he close enough to make a move? Once again, not quite close enough to overtake Kimi Raikkonen for that 14th place. However, there are a few cars in front of them that, obviously, if he can get past Kimi Raikkonen and he has the pace, he might be able to gain on the two Haases, and points may be on the table. Obviously, he didn't have the best start. Charles Leclerc's left side mirror is still quite... Yep, it's gone. It's gone. His left side mirror is gone. He's not going to be able to continue. Doesn't look like it, at least. His left side wing mirror is completely gone now. It's just broken off and flown through the air. I'm not 100% sure where it went, but hopefully there was no one near where it landed, because that was quite a ferocious break-off. The question is, can Leclerc continue this race without a mirror? I wouldn't think so, realistically. He might have to box and retire from the session, unless you can somehow replace it, but I don't see how that's in the cards at the moment. Alex Albon is closing on Carlos Sainz as they start the 9th lap of this 53-lap circuit. There is 6/10 difference between the two now. There was less than half a second a moment ago. But Carlos Sainz has managed to build up a bit. Charles Leclerc has passed Max Verstappen, and he still does not have a wing mirror. Charles Leclerc does not have a mirror, but he's still managed to pass Verstappen. So obviously the Ferrari is significantly faster still, which is why he managed to get past so easily, but I don't see how he's still racing with a wing mirror, without a wing mirror. So under investigation, we have Sebastian Vettel is under investigation. Apparently, Sebastian Vettel made a false start in this Japanese Grand Prix, which is why his start was so bad. He's obviously moved, and that's why he's had to redo the start. So Sebastian Vettel is under investigation for false start, but it doesn't look like he's been penalised because the investigation icon is no longer visible. So I've obviously looked into it a bit to see if he'd done a false start, but it doesn't look like he has. So we've currently got Mercedes, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, and the two Renaults and two Racing Points are in the top 10. Two Alphas, two Haases, one Toro Rosso, a Ferrari, a Red Bull, a McLaren, and two Williamses are now out of the top 10. Charles Leclerc is in P16 for car 16, and is currently trying to find a way past Danny Kvyat as they make it through the S's. Max Verstappen is still fuming on the radio, obviously, but I think he can find solace in the fact that Charles Leclerc was also afflicted by their collision. Yeah, so it's lap 10 of 53. Daniel Ricciardo, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Charles Leclerc, as well as George Russell, Robert Kubica, and Lando Norris, look like they're playing the long game with medium tyres, whereas everyone else is using soft tyres. Charles Leclerc is still looking to get in amongst the traffic ahead of him. He's got DRS, as does Danny Kvyat. but Kimi Raikkonen does not, despite being within 1 second of the car in front at the detection zone. So whether there be some sort of issue there with his DRS or the fact that he hasn't used it, but his wing was not open at that time. This has not been the best race for the young guys so far, obviously with Leclerc and Verstappen having their tussle at the start. Leclerc just had another look at Danny Kvyat, but wasn't quite close enough. But here he comes around the outside, coming into the spoon. Can Leclerc overtake Kvyat at the spoon? Yes, he can. Charles Leclerc has passed Danny Kvyat and is now closing on Kimi Raikkonen, who is closer ahead of him than Kvyat is behind him, while Max Verstappen is still stuck over a second behind Kvyat. The second that Leclerc tried to pass Kvyat around the spoon, Kvyat backed off, knowing that there was nothing that he could do to defend that would possibly end well for either of them. So we've got two Haases, Raikkonen and Leclerc. A big lock-up for Valtteri Bottas as he goes around the left-hander. Okay, Mark will be joining me in 1 second. Here he is.
There we go. Finally got it working.
Awesome.
The joys of living in Australia, eh?
Hey. So, I was just saying about Valtteri Bottas' lock-up. We've had a blazing start from Sergio Perez and the two Renaults.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I called that in qualifying. Their race pace is always undeniably quick.
Yeah, I think it was just their setup in their setup wasn't the best. Charles Leclerc is having a look at Kimi Raikkonen, but not quite close enough. Let's see how he does in the exit. A bit of a slide there at the back of Charles Leclerc's Ferrari, so he wasn't. That kind of compromised his overtake a little bit, but Kimi Raikkonen is gaining on Romain Grosjean. Charles Leclerc is gaining on Kimi Raikkonen.
It is a very, very interesting development, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I said during qualifying that if qualifying was anything to go by, the race would be interesting. And then the start of the race is pretty interesting.
Well, looks like I've got my prediction right about the Suzuka special curse continuing.
I mean, yeah.
Whenever Honda brings special upgrades, the drivers with them tends to have a really bad luck.
I mean, Gasly's doing amazingly. Albon did well, and then he took out Lando Norris. There you go, race control. Incident involving alleged false start. No further action. There you go. So Sebastian Vettel was not guilty of a false start there.
Oh.
I did think that maybe he did. Charles Leclerc has made it past Kimi Raikkonen at 130R. Charles Leclerc passes Kimi Raikkonen at 130R. That was a very risky but very interesting overtake.
With that whole thing, I'm a bit of a Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they punished Kimi for a very similar thing, and he didn't gain an advantage either.
Yeah.
So why did Vettel get let off?
I'm not sure. Well, I don't think he did false start. It was just people. It looked like he did because he got a very bad start. So people thought that he may have, but they looked at it and it turned out that he didn't. So Tom Christensen is the F1.
They got a whole new bunch. But hang on, here it
so
is.
here's the replay. Oh, he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
He fought himself. He did.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
yeah.
He even.
I think the fact that he had a very bad start just made people suspect. That was very tight. That was very close. So if he had kept going at that first lunge,
that would have been like a
Bottas start. Yeah.
He out-nerved himself. But the thing is, once you false start, the penalty stays the same most of the time. So he should have just
kept going.
Well, okay, they caught Kimmy. He did the exact. He stopped as well after that rule thought I may as well keep going. Oh God, Ricciardo's made it past Perez.
Yes, he has. Somehow. So now Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hülkenberg, and Sergio Perez have each made up 7 places, as has Kevin Magnussen.
Oh, Verstappen is pitting. Verstappen's pitting. Verstappen's retiring.
Max Verstappen is out of this race.
The Suzuka curse continues.
That was an interesting way of pulling in. He just he went up pit lane and he just turned nose into the garage.
They seemed a bit shocked.
Oh, he's not happy. He's very angrily undoing his hands device.
I'm sorry, Max, but what else do you expect going outside round that corner the first lap?
I mean, he had a lightning start. He thought he could get something out of it, but Leclerc had a bit of understeer, and Verstappen turned in a bit early as well. So the two of them there was no way of avoiding that.
That's a risk you take doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he knew that there was a very high chance of hitting him there, and he decided that he would be willing to risk it, which is, I mean, fair enough if that's what you want to do, but obviously.
Now this is going to be interesting. Will Leclerc get a penalty for that because of where the race is?
Because it's Japan and the Honda. Okay, Alex Albon has just pitted.
That was a lightning
That was a very fast stop. Wow. Max Verstappen's transponder is still on. Kimi Raikkonen's also in the pits. It is lap 16, and the estimated pit that I explained earlier would be laps 17 through 20. So
pit stops you've seen some undercuts. You're seeing the midfield undercuts, I think, is what we're seeing.
I think Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly
has Kimi retired? He's not in the pit exit yet.
No, I think he's just having a. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, they're saying Bottas's tyres are pretty.
Wow, Bottas' tyres are pretty shot. He could switch to mediums or hards, but if everyone's on a one stop, which is likely, hards are not a good idea. Oh wow.
Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel did a bit of a burnout. Sebastian Vettel did a burnout going into the pits.
Yeah, I reckon that was an in level of pit stop.
I thought he was retiring then. For a second there, I thought he was retiring, so I saw the smoke.
That was a good stop by Ferrari.
Then I realised he was just doing a burnout.
Oh no, not that good.
Carlos Sainz
he beats the main pack out.
Carlos Sainz is up into P3.
Not for long.
Not for long. He's going to have to box soon either way.
Yep. Looks like Ricciardo is closing in on Hülkenberg as well right now. He's trying to close the gap to Hülkenberg. Stroll
who is also closing the gap to Stroll, who is almost past Gasly. There you go.
So Vettel
had a bit of a lock up there and had to go in.
Box. Oh, I don't think he had to go in. I think it was a strategy call.
Yeah. There you go.
No, it wasn't that he had to go in. It was a in, now. We can get an undercut, we can
He
get an undercut.
obviously wasn't near the limiter then because he had to slam the brakes on and a lot of smoke came out.
Grosjean has pitted.
Max Verstappen is out of the race and he's up at the Red Bull pit wall. Alex Albon's in P10.
Gasly is... Geez, that Gasly kid's having an amazing race. You know what? I think he should be in a Red Bull seat.
I'm sorry, is it 2018?
I know. Oh, look, Mercedes have reacted with Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas has stopped. That means they're
Bottas
keeping Lewis Hamilton out.
They have given Bottas... He got out in clean air. Bottas keeps his position.
So Bottas is obviously on the prime strategy here with Mercedes.
He is.
We're on lap 18, so there's 2 laps left for the prime pit window.
Yep.
Alex Albon's just set a fastest lap. (1:33.9). Lando Norris has made it past Kevin Magnussen, who has gone into the pits. Danny Kvyat is up into P13. Lando Norris is P14. Charles Leclerc's in P11 and is still under investigation. Kevin Magnussen is still in the pits, and George Russell has just passed him.
There you go. He's exiting now.
So that was just a very slow stop then.
Oh, Lando. Oh, he's made it past.
There you go. Sebastian Vettel has made it past Carlos Sainz.
Yep.
Who's back into P4 with Pierre Gasly in P5.
I think Vettel is now in the pit window of Hamilton, so his pit stop gained nothing. Theory, it gained nothing. Although, is he on... Are Ferrari going for a 2-stop?
He's on soft tyres.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari are going for a 2-stop then. They'd have to.
Or even
Bottas's tyres were 80% done by lap 15 or whatever it was. There's no way in hell they can do another. They can do another 33. Still though, that's another 33 laps.
True, but
Charles Leclerc's up into P11. He's past Antonio Giovinazzi. We've got a Racing Point pitting. That is Lance Stroll. We also see Pierre Gasly in the pits.
They are right next to each other. Lando Norris.
That is the Renaults of Nico Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo are in P5 and P6. And Sergio Perez is up in the P7.
I mean, just to comment that Ricciardo is on the medium tyres.
He's on the long game, yeah. I was saying that earlier.
And that he's actually in contention for a good points finish.
Yeah, I think they both had an absolute phenomenal first lap.
Oh yeah, it was a standard Ricciardo lap.
I mean Hülkenberg as well.
Not really a standard of Hülkenberg. Normally Hülkenberg's standard is
I'm not saying standard, but I'm
saying lose them in the next 3 laps.
I'm not saying standard Hülkenberg maybe, but he still had a very good.
Oh yeah.
So we have a comment from Belle Stewart. So she said, "Great job, guys. So thank you very much. We very much appreciate it."
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in. We've got a new lap record from Valtteri Bottas, a 1:32.1, which is almost 2 seconds faster than Alex Albon's fastest lap, which he set several laps ago.
Yeah, I think we're going to see even more tyres start to, fall off.
Yeah, Nico Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez are pitting.
Yep.
Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo are staying out. Carlos Sainz is staying out. I wonder what his strategy is.
Oh, I think Albon has just made it past Stroll with a very blocking, almost like a block pass if you look at it, pushing him to the outside as much as the rules allow, then taking the corners.
That was Sergio Perez.
Oh, was it Perez?
Yes, because after that overtake, that was at the end of the lap, and then Perez then pulled into the pits and completed his stop.
Yeah. I think Albon's. Oh no, Albon's not getting on Ricardo as fast as I thought he would.
No, it's not.
Yeah, if you took the top 10 and showed it to people, they would ask, "Are you sure this is a Japanese Grand Prix?"
I mean, if we showed him the top 10 before, where it was Bottas, Hamilton, Sainz, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Ricardo. Yeah, so pit
So you lose
stops,
22 seconds.
22
in the
seconds.
pit. So Vettel will make it past Hamilton if he pits.
There you go. Wow,
Ricardo.
Alex Albon has nearly made contact with Daniel Ricciardo trying to pass him going through the chicane.
Not the smartest move by Albon. Don't go up the inside. Come on, Albon.
Alex Albon has made it past Daniel Ricciardo on the home straight and is up into P5.
I think that was expected considering they're brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
Brand new tyres.
And his car is 3 times faster as well.
Yeah. On a track like Suzuka, the Red Bull downforce really does help.
Exactly. The Renault's more straight line, which is better in the third sector, but in the first and second, the Red Bull's just far superior.
So I think we can confidently say that after qualifying and hell, even after this race, Ferrari has sandbagged for the entire season.
Yeah. Also, a lot of smoke got kicked out from Sebastian Vettel's
Hamilton's
Ferrari.
tyres look like they're near death.
Yeah, he's going to have to stop soon.
Yeah, he's pitting.
He's done. Lewis Hamilton pulls into the pits and is putting on the medium tyre. Valtteri Bottas is back up into the lead.
Yep.
Ferrari are looking confused.
Oh.
What's happening here? Yep, he is. Lewis Hamilton's pitted and the medium tyres are going on. Sebastian Vettel passes. Lewis Hamilton comes out and is just ahead of Carlos Sainz on the exit.
Yep.
Just ahead of Carlos Sainz on the exit.
I believe the gaps have, stayed basically around the same area.
Yeah. So basically back to the first lap now.
Yep.
So a quick run through of the standings are Valtteri Bottas currently leading, Sebastian Vettel behind him, Lewis Hamilton in P3, Carlos Sainz is 4th, Alex Albon 5th, Daniel Ricciardo 6th, Charles Leclerc is up into 7th. He had that early pit stop, so he's good to go a little bit longer. Danny Kvyat is in P8, Lando Norris and Pierre Gasly round off the points positions. Do you think Albon could possibly... I mean, it depends. If something happens to one of the top 3, Albon, because Red Bull are going to put all of their focus onto Albon now.
Nah, I don't think Albon's on for a podium.
I don't think he's on for a podium.
Sainz is more likely for a podium.
Sainz is playing a very risky strategy that's either going to pull off phenomenally or it's going to be terrible. It's one of those things that's like there is no middle ground for the strategy that he's pulling off. He's been on soft tyres for 23 laps.
I think that they should... I think we're going to see our first ever strategize from the beginning to stop.
If he does a one stop with soft tyres, that would be phenomenally that would be amazing.
Vettel has always been good at managing his tyres.
Yeah. And contrary to his own belief, so is Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, I've just taken Lewis Hamilton's radio messages about his tyres out of the equation.
Like in 2013, the tyres just exploded on everyone's car, except for it was Lotus were fine, Red Bull were fine, Ferrari were fine, and then Mercedes tyres were just crazy. So Valtteri Bottas built up quite a substantial gap to Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean Bottas has always been a driver who loved his clean air.
Yeah. Like look at him, he's so fast.
Yep.
Romain Grosjean's made it past George Russell and is up into P14. Russell hasn't stopped yet. Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen are all on the hard tyre. So they're going for the long game.
Has Kubica...
Kubica's in the pits right now.
I'm surprised he even made the race.
I know, he started from pit lane because he had to get a chassis change.
Do that in 4...
They did that in
what was it,
2.5
3
hours. 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. That is amazing.
I mean, obviously Williams are...
Oh! Hamilton's lost his wing. I mean, his mirror.
Charles
Why
Leclerc
not?
lost his earlier, and I mean, apparently you're still allowed to drive with no mirror. Because Hamilton's lost his. Leclerc lost his earlier and kept going. Because this Lando Norris is looking at Pierre Gasly.
Oh no, but look, Hamilton seemed like it's gonna... how Hamilton lost his.
Yeah, what happened to... Because there's quite a bit of damage to the side of Hamilton's Mercedes. I'm not 100% sure what's actually
Was he
happened
hit by
there.
a bit of debris? Was he hit?
Yeah, he got showered by debris from Leclerc's car at the start when
Yeah,
Leclerc was driving
that's
around.
what it was.
Bits of debris were breaking off Leclerc's car and showering Hamilton's car. And like there were quite a few big bits. Like I think it was half of Verstappen's front wing flew off Leclerc, got stuck to Leclerc's car, then flew back and smashed into Hamilton's car. Hit his halo and disintegrated. Like, yeah, there were just bits of debris everywhere. So he probably got showered by that. But I'm actually seriously amazed that drivers are allowed to continue driving without a mirror. Leclerc lost his mirror at the very start, and he hasn't.
They're
He's kept going.
useless. They're basically useless.
I mean, the vibration. I mean, obviously, Nico Rosberg once said that there's no point to having a mirror on a Formula One car because the car vibrates so much. Like the mirror vibrates so much that you can't see in it anyway.
Oh, well, that was a bit different. I mean, now there's like 2 mounting points. It seems a bit more stable and a bit more... Even on onboards, it seems a lot more stable than it was.
And still hot to see anyway. Lance Stroll is looking hungry this weekend. Nico Hulkenberg's gone rogue. Lance Stroll has made it past Lando Norris.
I mean, yeah. I don't know whether to be happy or what about that.
Both, because I want to see both of them. I want to see both of them up there. Who we got? Nico Hulkenberg, Sergio Perez.
Yep.
The next one's back. They're closing on Lando Norris as well. We've got the two Toro Rossos up in the points positions. Danny Kvyat has not stopped yet, I don't think.
Oh, but isn't he on mediums?
Yeah, no, he's on mediums.
Oh?
No, he's on softs.
Oh. Okay, so I'd say about lap 28, we're going to see the pit window open for the medium runners.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be... Okay, so Nico Hulkenberg's made it past Lando Norris as well, and Sergio Perez is surely next, because he's got quite a lot of pace there. And, is he going to do it at 130R? Sergio Perez? Oh, no. He's going to stay behind, get the toe, and then...
hang on, there's some liquid on... Did you see that for a second? There's some liquid on the T-cam. Look, you can see some smudging building up when he's close to Norris.
And Norris pulls into the pits.
Issue?
Because
Does Norris have an issue?
Norris has been slowing. That's why everyone's been past him. And Sergio Perez has got fluid splashing onto his T camera whilst behind Norris, and Norris has pulled into the pits.
Has pitted?
What's happened? What has happened to Lando Norris?
Maybe his tyres are just bad? No, because, it was just tyres. But no, there was definitely...
He was slowing down. He was slowing. He was definitely slowing. Oh, no, he's coming out. He's coming out.
It looked like there was some liquid splatter.
There was.
Is that just me?
No, there definitely was. Unless it was from one of the other cars.
Oh, there's a replay from Hulkenberg. What happened?
Oh, yeah, liquid just splashed into Hulkenberg.
Well, that was a nice pass by Hulkenberg.
It didn't even break. Went around the spoon, he just floored it.
Talk about it. Albon's made it
Oh,
past
Albon
signs.
has passed Science, and Hulkenberg is
Oh,
going for Kvyat. What was that?
oh.
Looks like a
I don't.
massive. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there is. I wonder if there might be just a really, really light sprinkle or something because a lot of the cameras are getting a little bit wet. So Hulkenberg's looking to pass Danny Kvyat on the main straight. He'll have DRS, as will no Kvyat will not, and he has got a better exit. Hulkenberg has, as has Sergio Perez, both of whom breeze past Danny Kvyat on turn 1.
Yeah. Ricardo's made it past signs. Does signs have an issue?
Carlos Sainz's tyres are. There is qualifying tyres, and they've been used for 28 laps, and they're softs.
Are they pulling? I can't remember pulling a Daniel Ricciardo Renault strategy similar to what they did in Canada. Like, leave him out, leave him out, leave him out, leave him out.
Yeah,
But
here you
look
go.
at
Yeah, so
that.
Sergio Perez and Daniel Ricciardo both. No, Nico Hulkenberg and Sergio Perez both breeze past Danny Kvyat in turn
Yep.
1 and 2.
Got a 7-second gap behind him.
How has that happened? Carlos Sainz has lost a lot of pace in the past lap.
Gasly is closing to him as well.
Has Carlos Sainz got an issue, or are his tyres just near death?
I am not sure. Leclerc seems like a driver on a mission.
Stroll and Perez and Hulkenberg and Gasly also.
I mean, if any
Gasly's
driver's on a mission, is Ricardo.
and Albon as well, but I mean
Oh yeah.
not as much now. I mean I'm tempted to say Gasly. I think he's like
Okay, should the race finish exactly like this, who's your driver of the day?
I would still say Gasly. So I think
Really?
he's just done a great job all weekend.
I'd
Like
say I'd say Ricardo, considering the fact he said he wasn't comfortable with the car all weekend,
both
qualified
Renaults
where
just
he did,
both Renaults
qualified where
nuked the
he did,
first lap.
and then finishing well. I think he's on for a points finish.
Yeah, I think they both are. That'd be great if they could both get up there.
If there is a safety car there, then Renault has just pulled the strategic move of the century.
If there was a safety car, they need a Golden Globe. They need like Grammy Award for best strategy. We haven't had any retire. Oh wait, what? I'm an idiot.
What did you just say? What did you just say? Repeat it for the audience.
I said we haven't had any retirements yet.
Verstappen's going to hunt you down for that.
And then I had to like quickly change what I was saying because I said
Oh, it's just something's just popped up on my phone. Apparently, swapping over to another motorsport. Apparently, a Bathurst driver has passed out at the wheel.
really.
Yeah.
There was a on the warm up lap. Tim Slade actually had. That's why he stopped on the warm up lap. He was getting carbon monoxide poisoning in his
No,
car.
during the race.
Yeah. On the
Apparently.
warm up lap, Slade was getting gassed in his car, so he had to stop and get out and take his helmet off. That's why the
Oh.
start got delayed.
Was it the same?
Might have been the same thing. He got carbon monoxide poisoning and was starting to pass out. So we haven't got much action going on at the moment.
No.
But Charles
So,
Leclerc
which
is gaining
drivers?
on the
Hang on.
racing
Apparently,
point.
a driver has already come up 10 places. I believe that is Ricardo. Bell was talking about when we were referencing to the driver that stormed through the field.
Is
Because
that Daniel Ricciardo? Obviously,
I believe,
the chat takes a few
or is it
minutes.
11 places? Or is it 11 places that
He
he's come up?
started 16th. So
He's
now
pitting. He's
it's
pitting.
10. He's just pitted, so he's now into P6.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it's 10.
So Sainz is still continuing.
Carlos Sainz has pulled off Tire Manager of the Decade. These are his qualifying set of soft tires, which he's had for the past 30 laps. And I'm just saying with Bell's messages in chat that the chat takes like a minute or two for a message to pop up. So it's going to be a bit of a delay before we see it. Carlos Sainz
this could go wrong for Sainz.
That's what I was saying before. There is no way that this could go all right or whatever. That's either going to go.
Unless there is a safety car.
That's either going to be the best strategy ever, or it's going to be the worst. There is no way that it's anything in between. Charles Leclerc is frustratedly trying to get past Sergio Perez.
Perez is a pretty good defender, but
he's going for it. He's going for it.
Oh,
he's done it very narrowly.
Well done to Charles Leclerc for an amazing pass.
Charles Leclerc barely made it past Sergio Perez, and he's now hunting down Nico Hülkenberg. He's now
perfect
into P9, and he's hunting down Nico Hülkenberg.
Just look at that. Perez gave him plenty of, respectable room. And now he's on Nico Hülkenberg's tail.
Can Hülkenberg's Renault, currently in P8, hold off the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who is hungry and looking to prove himself again?
Yeah, Ricciardo's already closing in on Perez.
Leclerc is closing in and has a look down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg going into turn 1 and 2 the exact same way Max Verstappen did to him at the start of this Grand Prix, but there wasn't quite enough room there. And had he gone for that, that would not have ended well.
He needs to wait for, I would say, one more lap.
Hülkenberg's pulling away a bit now. Sebastian Vettel has pulled into the pits.
He's going for the two-stop.
He is going for the two-stop strategy, as we reckon. That's why he switched to soft tires.
I don't see tires.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, yes, I do.
Medium tires. Medium.
So, yeah, we called it. It was a planned two-stop.
Sebastian Vettel is on the two-stop strategy. He's now on medium tires. As he exits pit lane, he's lost one position to Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc has made it past Nico Hülkenberg.
Yep. Hülkenberg is dropping places, I think. Yeah, he's dropping places.
Tyres aren't great, I think. No, there you go. He couldn't defend. There was a Ferrari.
Yep.
Alright, so he did it down here. Going up, he did it on the way into the spoon, on the entry to the spoon. Charles Leclerc outbraked Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh, he's just doing it as a demonstration to Vettel, saying, "See, Vettel, this is how you pass it spoon."
So we've got Valtteri Bottas still quite far ahead of Lewis Hamilton with well over 13, nearly a 14-second gap.
There would have to
and
be...
Lewis Hamilton's just bounced across the curbs there.
There would have to be a massive team order to get that to swap.
There is no way they could do that unless something really dramatic happens. And Lewis Hamilton is stuck behind Kevin Magnussen. Oh, now he gets past him. But there's still, there's a well over 13-second gap between Hamilton and Bottas.
Yeah, well, they both have clean air now, so we'll see if the gap closes. Well, we'll see. No, I think Verstappen ended his own race.
I think he didn't do anything wrong there, and I think Leclerc didn't do anything wrong there either. I think that
Leclerc's closing in on Stroll.
I think there was no real luck. I think that was always going to happen, that collision. There was nothing they could really, there was nothing they could do to avoid that. I think it was just the fact that Verstappen and Leclerc, it was the start that Verstappen had against the start that Leclerc had, and also the start that Bottas, Vettel, Hamilton, and Sainz had.
So it seems like the Hondas fixed their issues with their starts with the latest upgrade. Oh, Leclerc's going to try it on Stroll. And he gets it done. Leclerc's up into 7th now, with being only 1.5 seconds behind Pierre Gasly, who is his next target. Ricciardo has closed the gap to Perez to 8 seconds now. After his pit stop, it was originally 14. And Hulkenberg is losing his gap to Stroll as well. So it seems like Hulkenberg is not enjoying these tyres, while Ricciardo is enjoying his softs. The rest of the field, Russell's of course ahead of Kubica as normal. Magnussen is struggling in the field. Grosjean's proving once again that the Haas still has awful race issues. Oh, we see Leclerc hunting down Gasly now. Okay, Magnussen may have to come in. Apparently his seat is moving.
Who may have to come in?
Magnussen, apparently his seat is moving.
Ah, because you remember what happened to Lance Stroll in Monaco last year with his headrest. His headrest came loose, and he had all sorts of issues, and had one of Williams' worst performances because he couldn't really perform well with the loose headrest.
Yeah, well, this is worse than a loose headrest. This is a loose seat.
His seat isn't connected to the car. So
really
Charles Leclerc is trying to have a look at passing Pierre Gasly, who has been in P6 for a very long time.
Let's say, well, let's be honest here. It's not really a seat. It's more of a shape in a plastic, well, carbon fiber
shape. More
shape.
of a butt-shaped mold of carbon fiber.
Yeah.
The shape of Magnussen's rear end.
Yeah, it's got to be extra big for his balls. Hulkenberg wants to make sure they're always protected.
Oh, I can't believe that's where we went. All right. Oh, Charles Leclerc has made it past Pierre Gasly. Charles Leclerc is up into 6th place.
Albon is in the pits again.
Albon is in the pits again. He should make it out 2 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz.
Two-stop, he's swapping for the red
Going for the soft tyres.
We're seeing
should come out just ahead of Carlos Sainz.
Is this proving that a mandatory two-stop that some people have been suggesting makes the race interesting? Oh, what a pass!
That was a very risky pass by Charles Leclerc around the inside of Alex Albon.
Is this proving that mandatory two-stop racing makes it interesting?
Could be. I mean, you're not wrong, because this is there's a lot of different things going on.
Albon going for the fastest lap?
I mean, the current fastest lap is a track record, so you have to really gun it for that. But, I mean, if someone else could go for it later on for the extra point, I think Bottas is going to want as many points as he can possibly get. Lewis Hamilton is coming up behind a back marker. That is an Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah, Ricciardo's really closing in on Perez, and Perez is closing in on Hulkenberg.
And Stroll is closing in on Gasly.
And Hulkenberg's now closing in on Stroll once again. Really closing in. We're about to see a three-way battle.
Well, it's Ricciardo, Perez, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and Gasly battling for 7.
We're about to see
it's a 5-way battle for P7.
Very interesting, to say the least.
Valtteri Bottas still has a 13-second lead over Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel is 15 seconds behind, and Alex Albon's 36 seconds behind Vettel. Well, Carlos Sainz is 3 seconds behind Albon, Leclerc is then 9 seconds behind Sainz.
Oh, the Bathurst is getting interesting.
Is it what happened with the guy that passed out?
Oh no, it's just very late reporting. It was on the warm-up lap issue
Yeah.
that we were bringing up before. But there is another safety car out again.
Really?
They're all coming out in the dying laps.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so Bottas has just pitted again. Valtteri
Yep.
Bottas is at the pit exit, and he's just been passed by Lewis Hamilton, and is on very, very fresh soft tyres, the red soft compound.
Come on, Bottas, make the distance back. Don't let Hamilton pass. Come on. Showing a bit of allegiance here, but well, not allegiance, just more the fact of I don't want this to turn into a team order play.
Yeah, exactly. Can Valtteri gnaw on some porridge? They need to connect up his electrolyte drink to porridge.
Oh wow. Okay,
So he
Ricciardo's
just
putting in
sucks
some
porridge.
amazing laps. He's close to another second and a half to Perez. There appears to be
Hulkenberg's closed up to Stroll. Perez is close up to Hulkenberg. Ricciardo is closed up to Perez. Stroll's closed up to Gasly again.
there appears to be about 6 different races going on right now.
There's Hamilton, Bottas. Vettel stayed the same the whole time.
Yeah,
Albon's
Vettel's in
on
his
his
own
own.
race. Albon's in his own race. Sainz
Sainz
and
is
Leclerc
Sainz and Leclerc.
are their own
Then
race. Then Gasly to
then
Ricciardo.
Gasly, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Perez, Ricciardo. Then
And Grosjean by
Grosjean,
himself.
Giovinazzi. Well, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Norris,
Norris,
Kvyat.
Kvyat.
Then
And that's it.
Raikkonen and Magnussen.
Raikkonen, Magnussen. Then
Then
Kubica.
Russell's on his own and Kubica's on his own.
Russell.
Then
Yeah, so there's
Verstappen's in
6
his own
different races
race.
going on.
Verstappen's in his own race, probably playing
Yeah,
F1
back to the
2019
hotel
on.
room.
No, he's playing F1 2019 on one of the screens on pit wall.
Damage turned off, of course.
Damage turned off. He's using the Baku walls to actually guide him around corners. Nico Hulkenberg is on the medium tyre, which he's been using for about 20 laps. That explains his pace.
Not 20 laps. He hasn't been on it for that long.
It's lap 38 now.
Yeah, he's been on since about lap 22, 23.
That was 18, I think. Wasn't it 18? 19?
No, because he pitted when I joined.
Oh, that's right. So Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton are still missing wing mirrors. And Charles Leclerc is still missing a chunk of his car, and Lewis Hamilton has still got quite a bit of damage to his chassis after being rained on with carbon fibre from Leclerc and Verstappen's car. This has got a solid midfield battle going on, and a solid front runner battle too.
I thought my prediction was right, about halfway between Hockenheim and Great Britain.
Yeah, this is officially a battle for 7th between Gasly, Stroll, Hulkenberg, and Perez.
Although I would chuck Ricciardo in there pretty soon.
Soon, yeah. He's not quite
Norris
close enough yet.
Giovinazzi. He's closed another second, by the way.
Norris?
No, Ricciardo's closed another second.
Half a second.
No, he was 3.7. Now he's 2.7.
Oh, yeah. Ah, here we go.
6.
Pierre Gasly.
2.3.
What can Pierre Gasly do?
Spin sideways and take out 3 people.
Lance Stroll is very, very close. If Stroll stays at this distance, he will have DRS on the home straight.
Now, I believe that Gasly is technically the second driver to Toro Rosso, because he's the one who had to vacate his seat for Yamamoto on Friday.
He is second driver. You can tell from the camera.
Yeah, but you can never really tell with Toro Rosso.
It's only because it was Albon. Like at the start of the year, when you think of Kvyat and Albon, Albon was second driver, and because he swapped seats with Gasly, Gasly automatically becomes second because
I
Albon
think
was.
Kvyat's about to do a pass on Giovinazzi.
Lando Norris is passing
That was
the
old.
Alfa Romeo. That was
That's
a
old,
while
that's
ago.
old.
That was a while ago. Yeah, that was Giovinazzi, and he has got Kvyat behind him. Yeah, that was around turn 1. Turned in quite early there, didn't he? Charles Leclerc is currently in P6.
I just closed another second. Scheiße.
Daniel Ricciardo, yeah, is closing it on Sergio Perez quite substantially.
Lightning pace. Yeah, far out. Perez and Hulkenberg are about to get a shock of their life.
Charles Leclerc's got a pretty lonely race at the moment as Alex Albon crosses the line. Carlos Sainz is actually pretty close to Albon now. He had a 6-second gap and now he's up to a 5-second gap.
Very nice.
However, Sainz has to pit sooner or later.
He must be getting close to the canvas of his tyres.
Carlos Sainz has not pitted yet. It's lap 40 of 53.
Are you sure he hasn't pitted?
100% he has not pitted.
Oh, we're seeing a replay of Leclerc. What did he get wrong?
Oh, he bounced over the curb of the corner and a lot of sparks came out.
Yeah, you see a bit of floor flapping.
Don't you mean floor stappen?
Okay, Ricardo's in the DRS zone of Sergio Perez. Norris made it past Grosjean. Perez has fallen back from Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is still in the DRS zone of Stroll. Also in the DRS zone of Gasly. Now this is a real battle for 7th. Oh, very, very interesting to say the least.
Oh, massive lock up
Was
there.
a lock up for Leclerc. But I got Perez.
Daniel Ricciardo is past Sergio Perez. Yes, and he's 1.2 seconds away from Nico Hulkenberg.
Now, do you reckon Hulkenberg will let Ricardo past? Tell us what you think in the comments if you're still here, or what do you think, Alex?
We've got 4 people here at the moment.
Pop it in the chat. Will Hulkenberg give way to his faster teammate?
Or will he speed up?
Oh, look at that! Just into the second corner. How much Ricardo's already caught up to Hulkenberg?
Do you have our stream open?
I do.
So you're one of the 4, so there's 3 others.
Yeah, I'm just doing that to monitor chat so I can
basically
interact with anyone.
Lewis Hamilton is entering pit lane and Valtteri Bottas will surely pass him. He did a bit of a burnout there as well, just like Sebastian Vettel did earlier. Not as big though. Vettel's burnout was massive. A lot of smoke came out as well. Someone else is in pit lane as well. Sergio Perez is also in pit lane. Lewis Hamilton did 3.1 second stop. Sergio Perez is out in front of him. Did Perez just drive through pit lane and come out? He didn't actually stop.
He did. He had to.
He came in behind Hamilton and went out in front of him.
After pit stop, maybe.
Well, he came out miles ahead and he came in miles behind. That was odd. Driver of the day votes are open, by the way. Anyone who obviously watching, feel free to vote driver of the day. I'm going to go do that now. There we go. Bell Stewart says, I'm here. I think not at this stage, but we shall see. So,
he's closing in at a rapid pace.
He's closing in, but I don't know. I don't think Renault will intervene.
Oh.
Because Renault aren't normally for the intervention. So there are certain drivers that I think have done very well this race. They include Valtteri Bottas, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo. I think they're pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, Ricciardo's closing in on Hulkenberg now, less than half a second.
I have submitted my vote for driver of the day. I'm not going to say who it was, but I have submitted it.
I have a feeling I know who you voted for. And I think it starts to forget G.
No, actually. I wanted to vote for the G, but I didn't.
You vote for the B man.
Yes.
Oh, of course you did. He's only made up 2 positions. I think it should go.
Still pretty good though.
I'm gonna have to go with one of the Renault drivers.
I gotta say, I think driver of the day, or the just person of the day, should be James for not getting in the way.
Shutting up.
Yeah. So Sebastian Vettel is 10 seconds behind Bottas.
I think Ricciardo's about to pass Hulkenberg. Yep.
And he gets past, Daniel Ricciardo is past Nico Hulkenberg.
That looked pretty convincing. On the timing sheets, that was a clean, fast pass.
And he's already nearly a second ahead.
Stroll.
He's already nearly a second ahead.
He's closing in on Stroll. I think it's going to be 8th or maybe even 7th.
Don't know.
Depends. Yeah, I think I know who I'm voting for.
Yeah. I mean, I can vote for 2 actually. f1.com/vote is where you guys can vote. So obviously, f1.com/vote.
Oh, I think Hulkenberg locked up himself and slowed massively.
Locked up and slowed. Yeah. He tried to get closer to Stroll.
Then he struggles on the last corner, and he just sees his teammate sail by into the first corner. Is it? Yep. Look at that.
Yeah, there we go.
Lets him pass. He's not fighting it.
Yeah, he couldn't defend. There was no point. All right, yeah, I've done 2 votes.
It's Formula1/vote. Formula1.com/vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Bell
pretty
Stewart.
Yeah, you're right. For me.
I was saying Gasly before Bell was very standout for me. I mean, the fact that obviously, I think just the fact that it's compared to what he was doing in the Red Bull. I think obviously his Red Bull performance wasn't the best. However, in a Toro Rosso, he just goes so well. And especially this race, he was in P6, P5 and 6 for most of this Grand Prix.
It seems to suit his driving style.
Exactly. And he was in P5 and 6 for this whole time.
Ricciardo's built a gap to Stroll, that's good.
So Ricciardo's past Stroll and is a second behind Gasly. There you go. So Ricciardo's... There you go. So Stroll's lost traction on the exit of the final chicane. And has lost the rear a little bit. Has had to back off the power, which has allowed Ricciardo to get past because he had a much better exit.
He's closing in on Gasly now. Ricciardo is hungry
seven tenths after Russia.
After 2 races of disappointment, he is hungry. .4 of a second. Nah, I think Ricciardo's on for 7th. I think he's a driver of the day if he finishes. He has more.
I'm going to see if I can do 3 votes for driver of the day, actually.
Who's getting your other one?
Because I've done VB and Ricciardo. I'm going to see if I can do Gasly as well.
For me, Ricciardo deserves it for that performance.
Yeah, there you go. I can do 3. Yeah, I'll do Gasly too. So that's 3. There you go. Easy. Yep, so I voted for Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly, and Daniel Ricciardo. And there's the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel can see the approaching silver arrow of Lewis Hamilton approaching him. Charles Leclerc is in the pits, but there's only 6 laps left.
Fastest lap. He's going for fastest lap.
Okay, he's dropping out of championship contention. He's out. Leclerc, Verstappen, and Vettel are out of championship contention this race.
Vettel is literally making his car as wide as possible to hold on to second. Ricciardo's going to try get 7th. Hulkenberg's made it past Stroll.
But Stroll is pretty safe in P10. Stroll's pretty safe in P10.
Oh!
Wow. Nice. Great defending from...
That is a very interesting poll right now. Bottas Leclerc.
Wow, okay. That's interesting. So
the
driver of the day poll...
We must have missed Sainz pitting. He must have pitted.
Unless they didn't show it.
They must have not shown it.
Because the whole time... He's been on softs the entire time.
No, he can't have been. Nah, he's on mediums. He has to be. They haven't shown his car.
Unless he pitted recently while we were looking at something else. We'll have to find out afterwards what happened next. That was ridiculous. Yeah, so Sebastian Vettel, in case anyone didn't know what we freaked out about. Oh, what the hell? Restart and update to stay in Windows support. No, go away.
No, very.
Everyone just heard.
Bring back the live timing. Come on, I want to see the gaps. Come on, F1. Show me the gaps.
Okay, so only 5 cars are on the lead lap right now. Only 5 cars are on the lead lap.
Ricciardo's made it past Gasly.
Ricciardo is up into P7.
I mean, would you call McLaren best of the rest this race after seeing?
I mean, yeah. Well, best of the rest is the highest finish apart from Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. So yes, McLaren are best of the rest.
Oh,
that's what best of the rest is. Highest scorer is something different. Best of the rest is literally just
I'd
the
say
drive.
best of the rest is decided by points.
Well, that's
Personally.
highest scorer. That's highest scorer.
Yeah, but won't Renault outscore? No, they won't actually.
Yeah, there you go. So McLaren will win either way.
Yeah. I think Hulkenberg's going to make a pass Gasly too. Ricardo's closing a gap to Leclerc.
He won't pass him though.
Oh, there's not enough laps, but Jesus Christ. I mean, dare I say that if they got qualifying right, Renault could have been best of the rest easily?
I mean, maybe. With this pace, maybe. I know Lando Norris hasn't had the best luck after being wiped out by Albon earlier. So this will be Albon's career best finish if he holds on to this P4.
There are 18 laps left of Bathurst as well, by the way. I wasn't that late to the stream. I think
We've got 4 laps left. 4 laps
I
left.
can't be the only one that thinks that Japan, much like Monza, actually be more laps. Could have more laps.
It's only been literally like 70 minutes. But we've only had one retirement, which was at the very start. So it's actually, in that regard, there hasn't actually been that much.
Yeah.
So every time I say we haven't had a retirement yet, there's a retirement. Like there's like 3 straight away. In Bahrain, I remember saying, "Oh, we haven't had a retirement, or we haven't had many retirements yet. There's only been one."
It's your fault Leclerc got his engine.
No, as I said that, Sainz and the 2 Renaults pulled over.
Your fault. You cursed Leclerc.
Well, no, Leclerc it had already happened to him.
Oh.
But the 2 Renaults and the McLaren pulled over when I said it. Okay, Lewis Hamilton has a 0.3 second gap to Sebastian Vettel. Will he try it at 130R? And if not, will he try it?
Oh, he doesn't.
Going in? No, he's got too big a deficit
Vettel
behind
is
him.
holding on to this for dear life.
Because once again, he's got something to prove here. And Hamilton's gone for it going into the chicane, but not quite. They both hit.
He'll get it along the straight. He'll get it here.
Perez has passed Stroll. Perez is past Stroll and into the points position. Stroll is down into P11. Vettel and Hamilton go past Danny Kvyat and Vettel runs wide. Hamilton's looking around him. There's 3 laps left.
Come on, Vettel. Come on, I need you to stay second. I need you to stay second.
Vettel's his tyres are a lot older, so it's all down to his defending right now.
They take each other out. Albon and Sainz on the podium.
That would be amazing. No, they need to take each other and Albon out.
Why?
Sainz and Leclerc on the podium.
Oh, leave poor Albon alone. Oh, you know, if Albon retires now, certain someone's going to hunt you down.
Oh yeah.
And bore you to death.
So we got Bottas is currently leading driver of the day, and I think if we got a lap and a half left. There's nothing like there's a 14-second gap behind him.
I still think Sainz, Gasly, and Ricciardo deserve.
Sorry, is that Bottas standing behind Toto? Standing next to Toto? Did you see that?
Oh, I know what he's done.
What?
Well, Bottas has got Rosberg to fill in for him for a race. That makes sense now.
Amazing.
Okay, it makes sense now.
Bottas is standing next to Toto.
And Toto's like, what a great idea, Bottas. Having him right. Hulkenberg's been overtaken by Perez.
Hulkenberg has been passed by Perez. And when you think about it, in 2016, Nico Rosberg, who we just spoke of, his last Poland win, The last
Or
win of
Suzuka.
the last teammate to actually defeat Lewis Hamilton did come in Suzuka at this very circuit
Uh-huh.
3 years
So
ago.
that's what Bottas has done. Oh, they're saying that Lewis's
Vettel's
tyres are
tyres
worse.
are better than Hamilton's. Hamilton's front left is in better shape than the rest because he's been mounting such an offensive on Sebastian Vettel the entire time.
Yeah, what a race. What a race. And you were worried it was going to be France.
I said it was either going to be France or Hockenheim. I didn't know which one. Lewis Hamilton is very, very close to the rear end of Sebastian Vettel as we begin the final lap, and they are 14 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas.
He doesn't pass here, he's not going to pass at all.
He might be close enough at 130R, but never know. Leclerc has
look at the distance. Look at the distance now.
Yeah, Leclerc has a thing for overtaking at the entrance of the spoon.
Perez has gone past Gasly. Perez is on an assault.
No, Gasly.
Perez is out.
Perez is back.
Perez is out.
Perez is out. Sergio Perez is out of this race.
That's going to be a safety car.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You cursed him.
What did I tell you?
You cursed him.
That promotes Lance Stroll back into the points positions. Will this be a safety car? That was in sector 1. It's the final lap. When anyone gets there, the race will be over. Sergio Perez might still take P15 or 16 perhaps.
No.
Well, he will be classified because he completed 90% of the race distance. So as Vettel and Hamilton go around 130R and to the final chicane, Valtteri Bottas rounds the final corner and wins the Japanese Grand Prix.
And I believe Vettel has held off Hamilton.
And Sebastian Vettel does. It's very close, but he holds off Lewis Hamilton to take second.
That is an amazing drive.
Hamilton is third. Alex Albon is fourth. Carlos Sainz takes P5. Charles Leclerc is sixth. Daniel Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly and Nico Hülkenberg are 7th, 8th, and 9th. Lance Stroll finishes the points positions.
That is amazing.
And Sergio Perez will finish 17th. Danny Kvyat comes home P11, Lando Norris, Kimi Raikkonen behind him, Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen. Sergio Perez, who crashed out at the very end, obviously, is then followed by George Russell.
I've just gone over my bingo card. I've got a bingo.
Which is?
I've got Suzuka special goes wrong.
Yep.
Driver blames mistake on weather.
Mm-hmm.
And no race 1-2s.
Wow.
And if that's not enough, I've also got drivers race effectively ends lap 1.
Yep. Verstappen.
And I've also got someone in the gravel. Thank you,
Perez.
Perez!
Oh, he got taken out by Gasly.
Yes, he did.
Pierre Gasly hit him and actually did take Perez out.
Wait, I think I've also got driver gains no more than 8 places.
But Daniel Ricciardo made up more.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He finished 7th.
That's
no more than 8. No more than 8. He made up 8. He made up 8.
Thank you, Bell. We'll see you. Well, actually, we might not be able to do next race day because of our time zone difference, but we'll definitely be back from Melbourne.
Come on, have some coffee and man up. If I can watch the Americans, so can you.
Maybe. It depends on the time. I have to find out.
If it's 3 a.m. for me, it'll be 6 a.m. for you. Get up early, have some coffee and watch it. Come on, Belle, do you reckon you should get man up, have some coffee and watch it at 6 in the morning?
Takes a minute for chat messages to come through. Look, it's Monza qualifying. Everyone's bunched together coming down.
And Stefano's got a bingo.
Does he?
Mercedes win, accident during the race, external failure.
Nice.
And You don't have a bingo.
Uh,
You've literally only got one. You've only got 2 squares.
okay, so Belle's in Brizzy, apparently. Yeah, okay,
Ah,
well, now, yeah,
she'll be
okay.
watching the race, so why can't you?
I can try. I can try. Well,
There
fastest
is
lap
no
of the
try.
race. Lewis Hamilton took fastest lap, 1 minute 30, 983.
Yep,
And let's see, driver of the day. I think we know who that was.
Bottas. That Japanese porridge helped.
Japanese porridge, definitely.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. There was no penalty issued during the race, was there? No penalty issued,
No,
or
there
was
wasn't.
there?
There were a lot of investigations, but there were no penalties.
No, but was there a penalty issued at all during the Grand Prix?
Kubica starting pit lane because of the
Oh,
chassis change.
that's an argument of
That's
even if he didn't have to, he would have started there. I guess. So Stefano's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares,
wow.
and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares.
So Valtteri Bottas has equalled his best year, 2017, with 3 wins in a season.
You've
There
got
you go.
nothing.
And he has won driver of the day with 20% of the vote. What do you mean I've got nothing?
Pardon?
Did you
Sorry,
say?
you've got 1 or 2.
Yeah,
You've got 2.
I was going to say I did Mercedes win. Smiles all around for this year's Flying Finn as he and Sebastian Vettel as well, managing to hold off Lewis Hamilton for a
Yeah.
very long time. Lance Stroll is laughing because he
Oh
managed to
God,
make
poor
it up.
Mike. I don't think Mike's got anything. I'm talking about our bingo. Oh, this is actually a person who's got our thing through the Ricardo fan page that we're
Yes,
on.
is that on Facebook? That's a Messenger, I think, isn't it?
I believe it is. If you're wondering what we're talking about, we actually run a bingo competition where you kind of put your predictions in for the weekend and make like a bingo card out of it, and
Yeah, you
it's
make
open for
nine
anyone to
predictions.
compete.
And I believe that this means that Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc are out of championship contention for the 2019 World Drivers' Championship.
It can literally only be Bottas or Hamilton.
Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton are the only drivers mathematically able to win this year's World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, bit boring.
Yeah, so I think that was one hell of a GP in Japan this year. Wow.
Oh, love that. What a great race.
Oh, apparently they posted our link in the actual Facebook page.
Oh,
Who
that's
did that?
amazing.
Oh, I might have done actually. That might have been me
No, because
in
you would have
on
had
the
to get
thread.
permission.
No, I think I did it in a comment.
Oh,
Very, very long time ago.
great. Thank you for sticking with us. Sorry I was late. As you know, the joys of Australian internet.
Yeah,
It's
well,
shit. It's shit when you don't have it, and it's shit with how much time you don't have it.
and it's also terrible when you do have it.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that was a interesting one. So I think we're pretty much good for this one, isn't it? It's been a very, very, very interesting one. Obviously,
I'm off to check Bathurst right
yeah.
now. I'm just going to check Bathurst.
If you want to join our bingo game, obviously we want as many people in as possible. So send us a message through either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or anything. Might be able to add a Discord link into the description as well. So hopefully, we can get some. Hopefully, this can get some more people. Wow, that was a very interesting one. like we said in qualifying. So yeah, we will see everyone next time.
Oh, hang on. Yep. Are we done streaming now?
We will be in about 4, 3, 2, 1.